Hello, everyone, and welcome to this October 29th webinar. We are going to be talking about JMC's online registration, your ticket to well-maintained student data. I am Rachel Cox. I am on the support training team here at JMC. I've been with JMC for just about 3 years now. I write a lot of the resources that you see in our help center. I do webinars like this. I come to JMC with about 12 years teaching in the college classroom. And then I was a Catholic elementary school administrator for a couple of years. And now I'm here with JMC. And today I'm joined by Amy Wall. Amy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure would. Thanks, Rachel. Yep, I have been with JMC for a couple of years now. I was a high school counselor for a long time in West Central Iowa. I am the co-lead of the Client Services Specialist team. I help with support to training team, do some new school onboarding, just wherever I'm needed, kind of try to help out, learning about how to do these webinars and just being here for Rachel to monitor questions today.
Thanks, Amy.
You're welcome.
All right. Today we're going to be talking about getting the most from online registration. And I just have to say, this is actually a topic I'm really excited about. I think a lot of our schools think about online registration like over the summer leading into a new school year, but there are other times that you may want to utilize this tool. It can be really helpful. It can save you time. It can help like maintain some data that you get back from parents. So I'm really excited about looking into some creative ways that you can use our online registration tool. But to kick us off here, JMC's online registration tool isn't just for the start of the school year. You can use it year-round to keep contact information current and ensure timely submission of signed forms. In today's session, we'll share 3 quick wins for using online registration year-round, helping you and your families update emergency contact details and submit important forms like field trip permissions with ease. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in that Q&A feature in Ring Central. We'll get to questions at the end of each section of this webinar. And like I said, we're going to be talking about some creative ways for using online registration. So if you have any ideas or if you have any questions, please feel free to put those questions out there. We are going to start with reviewing and merging emergency contact details. Families can submit new or updated emergency contact information for their students at registration time and throughout the school year. Office staff review each submission and choose whether to accept it into the student's record or reject it. Approved emergency contacts are then automatically added to the student's file in JMC Office. Families can revisit online registration anytime they need to update or add emergency contact details. Once submitted, you can easily merge emergency contacts into your JMC database. So to do that, you head to JMC Family here in the menu tree. So JMC Family right there, online registration, merge data to review, accept, or reject emergency contact submissions. Once you've merged those contacts, you can easily find a student's emergency contact information by visiting the View Student Data page and selecting emergency from the contacts drop-down list. So just right up here, you'll search emergency and then get the information that you need for that emergency contact. So we're going to take a live look at reviewing and merging emergency contact details. All right, so this is actually a topic I feel very passionate about. I was helping a school in the middle of like an emergency, just like you hope you don't have at your school. And we were trying to find the emergency contact information for a student. And we realized that it had been about 2 years since they had last merged their emergency contacts. And so all the information was sitting out there, but we couldn't quite find it. So this is an important step to make sure that that information is there when you need it. So I am going to come here to JMC Family, online registration, merge data, emergency contact data. So you can see here, I've got some modified emergency contacts. So there are a few contacts that I need to review and I need to decide if I'm going to accept it or reject it. So you can see I've got this one here at the top. I've got a first name, a last name. I've got a phone number. It tells me who this person is. It's a grandmother to the student. And it shows the student right up here. So this would be an emergency contact for Jenny. So if I go ahead and accept it, it is now going to show up on Jenny's student file. So I'm going to just pull that up. Oh, I have to spell it correctly first. Here we go. And now if I look at the emergency contact, actually, sorry, I think I have that in the wrong spot. I'm going to look here at this emergency contact. Is that the one? We've got a few for this student, which is great because if you can't get a hold of one, then you can get a hold of another one. So emergency contact, there's Martha right there. There's her information. It lets me know that that's grandma. Hopefully parents would fill out a little bit more. You would maybe have an address as well, maybe an email address, but this is where you can go then when you have that emergency or you need to get a hold of someone to come pick up a child or something like that. Right here, you select emergency, you have that information right at your fingertips. But I'm going to show you something else here. I'm going to head back to JMC Family, online registration, merge data, emergency contact data. And now you see Martha is here again because, oh, she's going to be the emergency contact for another student in that same family. And here's the great thing is that JMC will notice if the record you're about to accept or reject is already existing in your contacts list. So rather than creating a duplicate contact for Martha every time you are adding her as an emergency contact to another sibling in a family, you can see here that there's a possible existing contact. So you could just come up here, once you click on it, you'll see all of the details there. And then I can just go ahead and accept it. And same thing, possible matching contacts. So I can click on that. Good to go. I can accept it. Oh, there's an existing contact with the same name. Please click accept. Okay, over here, accept. There we go. So it gives you those alerts so that you don't duplicate contacts that are in the system. And, you know, if you're in a small school district, you might have a lot of cousins in your school system. So, you know, if someone is mother to one student and aunt to another one, and that one's emergency contact, it's really nice that all of those contacts are already in JMC and you can just go ahead and accept them without duplicating those contacts. Are there any questions? Does anybody have any questions about emergency contacts and how to merge them or how to view them?
There was a question about accepting contacts and duplicate ones, but you answered it during the course of your conversation there. So good job. You just anticipated and gave the answer.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then we will move on to talking about managing signed forms all year round with online registration. So the first thing that you want to do is make signable forms available for families. Skip the hassle of paper forms. Families can conveniently review and sign documents digitally all year long. In JMC Office, just upload your forms, add descriptions and deadlines, and set your e-signature preferences to add them to JMC Family. It's a simple way to keep families informed and encourage timely form completion. So you first will upload your form and enable electronic signatures to allow families to sign consent and acknowledgement forms. Then you can assign the form to a specific student or group of students and decide if you just need a primary contact signature or if the student should sign as well. And then you can add a due date here, which gives the form, it gives families an idea of when that form should be returned by, just helping keep that communication open and get those forms submitted in the time frame that you need them. So let's take a live look at those signable forms, making them available for families. So we're going to be in the same area here under JMC Family. Online registration. I'm going to close my merge data here and I'm going to go to, actually this one's under setup. So JMC Family, online registration, setup, and then I go to upload forms. And you can see I have two forms that already exist here. So I can either edit a form that I've already uploaded, or I can add a new form by coming here, clicking add new, and then you just choose the form from your computer. I'm going to cancel this for now, and I'm just going to edit one that I already have. So I have this state capital permission slip, and I want to edit it. So any form instructions that I need to make sure that families have. So right now, this just says all families who wish to send their high school students on the state capital trip must sign this permission form. And then I decide who needs to sign it. So I can go by activity, like if this was a particular group, like maybe a student government group that was going to the state capitol, then I could search from the activities that I have set up in JMC. If it's a particular government class, I could go by course. If it's open to all high school students, I can come here and send it out by grade, and I would choose 9th grade to 12th grade. And it looks like I'm getting an error, an error on my page. And of course, I think Amy and I know that seems to only happen when we're presenting in webinars. But this would normally ask you if you wanted to include all genders. But if it was something that you were just sending out to, like, say, the girls basketball team or something like that, that would be something that you could use to filter out those recipients of the form. And then, like we said, or like you can also choose by random if you need to just send something to one student. So I'll select one student here. And then contact signature is required. So you want a parent to sign it. This is a really handy feature here. So if you are sending out this form, say to all high schoolers, and a family had 3 students in grades 9 to 12, would you be okay with that parent signing one time and that signature then apply to all of the students? So that's an easy way to make that signature process even easier for parents. And then the other thing you need to decide is, do you want students to sign it? And if so, then you can put a check mark here in this checkbox, and then that shows up in JMC student for students to sign as well. And then here's what I was talking about earlier. You have this signature deadline. So if you need to have this permission slip returned, say by the first week of November, so I want this back in by November 7th, put that there. Once I update, then all of this is updated in JMC Family. One other thing that I'm going to mention before we move on much further in this webinar is, in order to use these tools through the online registration tools throughout the school year, you're going to want to make sure that you have it open for families. So to open up online registration, which you probably did when families were registering at the beginning of the school year, that's just under your online registration setup configuration options. And this is where you decide which features you want to have turned on and which features you want to have turned off. But if I come in here, like to family permissions, well, I want them to be able to use the controls. I want them to be able to submit parent and contact information. I want them to be able to view it. So you would want to keep this open if you want to let parents update their information as needed. The other settings here at the building level, click to extend that family access, allow them to submit emergency contacts or make those edits. So you'd want to have this turned on for families to be able to update those emergency contacts that we were already talking about. So it's important that you keep these settings on if you want to use it throughout the year. If you don't, go ahead and turn them off. But I think most schools do leave these on throughout the year. I was talking to some colleagues about this, and I think most schools turn it on, get the registration information, and then don't really think about it much anymore. And it probably does stay on in the background anyway. So that's just something you have to consider if you want to use these tools throughout the year. Any questions about signable forms, Amy?
No, I'm not seeing any questions right now.
All right. I was just talking a lot and really fast, so maybe people need to catch their breath before I could think of a question.
You're just still processing a little bit.
Yes. But you can keep thinking about those questions as we move into the next part, which is how you track those signed forms. So once families have signed it, how do I know? How do I know who hasn't signed it? So we're going to talk about tracking those signed forms using our progress dashboard. You can keep track of families signing their online forms with the progress dashboard. Quickly view the families who have completed the process and use the quick links communication tools to contact those that still have forms to sign. So when you're on the dashboard, which again, you can find under JMC Family, Online Registration, Progress Dashboard, you can filter specific grades, families, students, advisors to find the groups of students assigned who were assigned the form, then sort by families who still need to sign the forms. So you can see right here, you've got forms and you would just say not all done. The thing that I really like here about our dashboard, and I put it here in this picture, is that next to a family name, you can click this disclosure arrow and you can see a little bit more information just about that particular family. So you can see forms not done here, forms not done, and a little bit of other information about any fees, lunch balances, fees that are owed. But it allows you to look just a little bit deeper, just get a snapshot into the information about this particular family. And then, like I said, here you've got these quick links. And this to me is the most beneficial part of the dashboard. Like, yes, this information is great, but the fact that you can just come over here and email your filtered families. So what I filtered is I wanted to see the families that didn't have all of their forms done. And now I can just quickly email those families by clicking this quick link right here. So we'll take a live look at tracking the signed forms. So again, we're in JMC Family, online registration. And this time we are going to come to Progress Dashboard. And you can see I've got all of my families listed here. And right here, I've got this column of family forms. So this family's got one form, they haven't signed it. This family's got 4, so on and so forth. You can see here, I do have a family that has signed their form. So if I open this up, I can see forms done and forms not done. It should list my forms. I'm not sure why it doesn't. But like we were saying, filter this however you want. So if a particular grade was sent home, a field trip, like a field trip permission form, maybe 3rd grade, and I want to look at those who have not finished their forms, I can just come right over here and I can email those filtered families. I can put in a reply to email address. So if they have any questions, they can come back to me. I can put the subject in there and then include a message. It will automatically put in the form, the name of the form that they need to go in and sign, but I can include any information here. Like, please remember to go in and sign your field trip permission form. Forms are due by the end of the week, whatever it is that you want to put in here. And if you want to attach a flyer or something about the particular field trip, however you want to use that, you surely can. And then once you've put in a reply to email address, the subject, and so on, then you'll have the option to send it. But I am going to choose not to send this email right now. But it's really very simple. The fact that you can filter this, quickly email those families. It's a super easy tool, and it helps so that you don't have all these paper forms coming in that you have to keep track of. And how can you keep track of which families? So this is an easy way to look at that. And if you're curious about those form signatures, like this is a kind of an overview here on the dashboard. But if I come here to form signatures, I can look at the particular forms, like each specific form that has been uploaded into JMC and been assigned to parents. And I can see the signatures, the signature date, the signatures. Come back to this one here. Let's see if I've got, yeah, here I've got some signatures. I see the date they signed it. I see their signature. So if you want to look at specific families, make sure that those forms are signed. You can come in and look here too. And again, you can filter it by grade. So if you just want to see the progress on that 3rd grade field trip, you can look here. And if you have some families that aren't great with this, with the technology, or it's just they're having difficulties, it can be tough to use for them, you can record a paper signature. So maybe they just send back a printout back to the school. I can come in here and record a paper signature. I just pick the student. I put that they signed it, signed, and then I can save it. And it'll save the signature for that. It'll show that I have a paper signature on file for that family. So pretty simple, lots of options and different ways that you can customize it for your families. So you can see right here, I've got that paper signature on file. So that's kind of it there for sending out those signable forms and for tracking the signable forms. Are there any questions about forms?
I don't see any questions, Rachel. You know, I always have to comment because I think our quick links are the best. They're hard to say, but I think they're just the best because it's what you need, where you need it. You know, they're so helpful over there.
Yes, I agree. I think that's probably something that I didn't use as much as I should have when I was a in-school JMC user. And
Right.
Now I see just how helpful they are. So if you're ever on any page in JMC, you probably already know this, your quick links change so that they highlight something that would be easy to use on the current page that you're looking at. So when you're scrolling through JMC and doing different tasks, highly recommend look at these quick links. They're there to help you out and navigate you to different places in JMC that aid in the task that you're doing.
I just always felt like the developers must know what I needed before I knew I needed it, because all of a sudden there would be this quick link there that was like, oh my gosh, this makes my life so much easier. So it's always good to check on the quick links.
Absolutely. That's a great point, Amy. All right. Well, without any questions, we've got some JMC news and upcoming events to share. The teacher conference scheduler streamlines everything. Teachers block availability, family self-schedule in JMC Family, and office staff see all conference times at a glance to answer questions instantly. Make this fall's conferences faster, clearer, and easier from start to finish. You can email sales to request a demo and pricing. And the teacher conference scheduler is a feature that I love. We implemented it at my school when it was fairly new, and it took the task of scheduling all the conferences from like a week of planning, getting siblings next to each other, sending home forms, waiting for forms to come back. It could then be done in a matter of minutes. You just set up those times in the office. Families pick the times that they want and that work for them. And it's just so simple. And some quick wins. Watch, do, and move forward. Kickstart or catch up on your start of year tasks with curated training videos that lead to accurate data, fewer errors, and smoother operations in the months ahead. From checklists to attendance, online registration, and credit tracking, these short walkthroughs help both new and seasoned users complete essentials and make them second nature. So we've got an article linked here in these slides, and you can learn more about locking in accurate record keeping, adequate government funding, and more throughout 2026. JMC backs your team year-round with season-by-season resources that build skills and confidence. In October, make quick time savers like locking schedules and merging emergency contacts, which we just talked about today. In November, get step-by-step guidance to finalize and report grades. And in December, put planning tools to work so staff can be proactive and propel your district forward. So you can book a 30-minute session with a JMC trainer. If there are any things that you want to cover and you want that one-on-one session, again, that is linked here in the slides, and you'll get that YouTube link emailed to you. And if you click on the description for the YouTube video, you can see these PDFs and go right to this 30-minute session link. And on behalf of myself and Amy, thank you for attending this webinar, and thank you for choosing JMC.